The players got rewarded for their hard work last night against the New Jersey Devils, and the LTIR train has left the station. All that and more on today's edition of Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Chris Golick here. I am a day one season ticket drive member and a season ticket member for the Vegas Golden Knights. Today's episode, the Vegas Golden Knights have made a lot of roster moves. The LTIR train has officially left the station. We'll preview the game against the Boston Bruins tomorrow. Before that, I want to take a moment to remind you that today's episode of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. It's just me today, folks. Tony is out of the state calling some hoops. Chris Kondos is out of the country doing something. I don't know where he is. So today, you are stuck with me, but we're going to have a lot of fun. Before we talk about the recent roster moves and the Boston Bruins game on Saturday, let's get into the Vegas Golden Knights' victory against the New Jersey Devils. This was a very similar performance that the Golden Knights had against the New York Islanders just 2 nights ago. Against the New York Islanders, the Golden Knights had 14 high danger chances to the Islanders' 5. The Golden Knights outshot the Islanders 31-14. Fast forward to the Devils game last night. The Golden Knights had the edge in high danger chances 16-3. Say that again. 16-3. The Golden Knights outshot the Devils 40-15. For lack of a better term, this is a pissed off Golden Knights team right now, right? They had some decent games. You go back to the Rangers game, right? The Rangers, the Golden Knights had a pretty good effort that game. Goaltending could have been a little bit better, but it was still a game that the Golden Knights could have won, at least defensively. Offensively, you'd like to see more than 2 goals put on the board, but so what? Go to the Islanders game. We talked about all the high danger chances and everything. Coach Cassidy said before the game against the Devils that it's time the players be rewarded for their hard work. I'll say that again. It's time the players be rewarded for their hard work. All of a sudden now, there's some hope heading into the Four Nations break for the Vegas Golden Knights. It's been doom and gloom. They've been one of the worst teams in the National Hockey League for the last 3 to 4 weeks, and this is normal, right? This is kind of what we're used to as Vegas Golden Knight fans, right? A bad pocket of hockey leading up to the All-Star break, in this case, the Four Nations. But the Golden Knights have a chance to go to the Four Nations break with some positivity, with some momentum, if they can find a path to a point against the Boston Bruins. We'll talk more about that game against the Bruins in a little bit. All right, we're going to try something a little different today. It's just me running the dials, so we're going to have a little bit of fun today. We're going to see how this works out. It might work, it might not. I don't know, but we're going to give it a go here. All right, I always talk about this edge visualizer when I'm talking with Tony about the goals and everything, kind of like doing the color side of a play-by-play. So we're going to try that today right now as we recap all of the goals in the Golden Knights New Jersey Devils game. So here's the Nicholas Waugh goal. Here's what to watch on this play. Nicholas Waugh comes out for the line change, right? Just finds some soft ice, and the puck finds him. And he's off and running. He's got Luke Hughes chased him. Luke Hughes is an able defenseman, right? But Luke Hughes just kind of got stuck in la-la land. The interesting thing about this, we're going to look at this one more time. Watch Nick Waugh's path from the bench. 3 New Jersey Devils end up behind the Golden Knights goal, and it's just Nicholas Waugh. It doesn't seem like there's a lot there, right? He gets a shot from the circle. Jake Allen leaves a rebound, and 1-0 Golden Knights. Credit Braden McNabb. I don't think he took the shot flush off of his face. If he did, he'd probably be in a lot worse shape. But that puck did make contact with his face, and Nicholas Waugh gets a goal off of the old Braden McNabb face assist. So credit McNabb for putting his body on the line on that one right there. All right, let's look at the second Vegas Golden Knights goal right here. This is an interesting goal, right? You got Ivan Barbashev behind the net, just throws the puck to the money zone. Olofsson, Shea Theodore crash the net. Now, this is a recovery right here. Olofsson gets the rebound, finds Shea Theodore at the blue line. Theodore just puts the puck on net, right? There's not a whole lot to this goal. You got to like Ivan Barbashev getting behind the net and putting the puck into a high danger area. Theodore and Olofsson both converge on it. Eichel's right there as well. And then the recovery. You got the Devils chasing a little bit right now. The Devils are just a little bit flustered. You watch the replay of that goal, not with the heads moving around, but you watch the actual replay of the goal. You see that Jake Allen, like, it looks like there's a lot of traffic when we look at the visualizer. Watch this one more time here. It looks like there's a lot of traffic with Eichel and Olofsson and Barbashev kind of converging to the front of the net here. But Jake Allen really had a clear view of this. This is certainly a goal he'd like to have back. But again, credit the recovery, credit the second and third effort on this goal. And always good to see Shea Theodore getting on the board and getting into those, getting on the score sheet. There we go. That's the word we're looking for. All right, third Golden Knights goal. There's a lot of things happening here. Again, you have a recovery. Eichel tries to put the puck to the circle, tries to get it to Olofsson, doesn't end up working out. Hanifin takes it in, and as State Run TV called it, it was the old shot pass. There's no such thing as a shot pass. Shot or a pass. That was for Tony. He's not here. He would have said that, so I'll paraphrase what Tony would have said. Here's the key to this goal right here. If you're on audio, just pretend you're watching this right now. If you're watching on video, I want you to follow Jack Eichel's path. Follow Jack Eichel. He puts the puck to the front. Nothing happens. Right here, his interaction with number 56 of the Devils, he just chips his stick a little bit of a stick lift, maybe a little bit of a low slash. You're allowed to slash around the blade as long as you're kind of coming down and around, not coming like an overhand chop or anything like that. But it's really just a little poke check, a little stick lift, and that allows the puck to continue its path along the boards, goes to Whitecloud, blue line to Hanifin. Hanifin does a good job accepting the pass, and I don't know if Hanifin even knew what he was doing on that play. He's simply putting it to the front of the net, hoping something good happens. And, of course, there's Jack Eichel, who's having an absolutely remarkable season. His 19th goal on the year, Hanifin 16 assists, Whitecloud's 5th assist. Good to see Whitecloud on the score sheet. You don't see Whitecloud on the score sheet a lot these days, so good to see. All right, without Tony here, I never get a chance to drink my coffee, so I'm going to drink coffee for a second. Oh, more energy. Let's go. Okay. All right. Here's the third goal, or here's the first goal of the game, and the only goal of the game that counts, at least, for the New Jersey Devils. Take a look at this play. Golden Knights are on the kill. I believe this was this the Shea Theodore penalty? I forgot this was the Theodore penalty. Either way, it doesn't matter. Eichel loses the faceoff. All right, it's a 3-1. It's a 3-0 hockey game. You got 4 minutes left. You want to see your leader winning a faceoff there. It doesn't happen. Fine. It's a 50-50 proposition, give or take. So whatever. You don't have a lot of recovery here either. Lose the faceoff. Golden Knights never even really touch the puck. Puck squirts out to the side. And again, this is one that Adin Hill is going to want back. If you watch the replay, he simply did not hug that post. Again, shutdown circumstance, important part of the game. You would like to see more out of the Golden Knights. Now, listen, we're not dogging the Golden Knights. They 31-14, 14-5 as far as high danger chances go. So we're certainly not going to be talking negative about this game in any shape or form. But in that circumstance, you like to see a little bit more. The Devils did have a goal disallowed. You kind of felt like it was going to be disallowed the second you saw it happen on the ice, right? It was a high stick at the end of the day. Now, here's the weird thing about high sticking in the National Hockey League. The high stick, the level you can make contact with a puck out of the air is your shoulders, unless it's a scoring opportunity. If you're at center ice and the puck's coming, I'm 6'2", so my shoulders are 5'8". I don't know, I'm making it up. I can play the puck anywhere from the ice to about my shoulders. When you are doing a scoring attempt, you cannot make contact with the puck higher than the goalpost. It has to be at or below the goalpost. And that's obviously what happened right there. It was at the New Jersey Devils forwards' shoulders, but definitely well above the crossbar. The refs on the ice, first of all, they disallowed it. They overturned their own call, and then the review confirmed the call. So good job on the refs to get together and get it right. And, of course, Toronto validated that. This was the right game in the right circumstance at the right time. Talked at the start of the segment about how rough things have gone for the Vegas Golden Knights leading up to the All-Star break, in this case, the Four Nations. All of a sudden, all that kind of feels a little bit better, right? I mean, the New Jersey Devils, they're not a bad team by any means. They started out the season a lot hotter than probably where they are now. New Jersey Devils in the Metro, they're third place, 66 points, plus 29 goal differentials. So Devils were not a slouch by any means. The Golden Knights, I think, were a slight favorite in this game, not very big. So the sports books seem to believe the Golden Knights were turning a corner. But you look at these last two games the Golden Knights played. This is that dominant defense that Coach Cassidy talked about. This is the defense that Coach Cassidy said should be the best defense in the Pacific Division. 31-14, 40-15 shots, a combined high danger chance differential of plus 22 over the last couple of games. I should go back and look at the Rangers game right now, but point being is a corner has been turned. Is this because Coach Cassidy shook up the defensive lines? Is it because Noah Hannafin and Pietrangelo are split up? We'll see if it winds up going down like that coming out of the All-Star Four Nations. Not the All-Star break, it's the Four Nations. All right, that'll do it for the recap of the Golden Knights' victory against the New Jersey Devils. Coming up next, this is going to be fun. The LTIR train has left the station. Looking for tickets for your next big event, whether it's a concert, comedy show, or a hockey game. Finding the right tickets at the right price can be a headache, but with Gametime Picks, it's never been easier. Let me tell you how it works. With Gametime Picks, the app does all the hard work for you. It curates the best deals so you don't have to waste time searching through endless ticket listings. I've been using Gametime Picks for a while now, and here's exactly why I love it. The curated deals make it super simple to find great tickets at a great price. No more sifting through and scrolling up and down, left to right, sideways and forwards through thousands and thousands of options. The seat view feature is a game changer. Before I even hit buy, I can see exactly what my seat will look like in the venue. It is very reassuring, especially if you're going to a venue that you're unfamiliar with, going to a game on the road, for example, going to Boston tomorrow. And the best part, you are covered with Gametime's lowest price guarantee. If you find a better deal somewhere else, they'll refund you 110% of the difference. Plus, your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time with easy cancellation options if something comes up. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Hello again, everybody. Chris Golick, Locked On Vegas Golden Knights here. It is Friday. We made it through the week. Give yourselves a round of applause, everybody. Coming up in the next segment, we're going to preview the Boston Bruins Vegas Golden Knights game, the last game until, about a 2-week break for the Four Nations. So, we'll try and make our best attempt at a good preview there. Before we get to that, February 6th, yesterday, Thursday, February the 6th was a very interesting day in VGK salary cap land, so to speak. All right, let's recap everything that has happened recently. Let's pull up Puckpedia here. We need a couple screens to get to all this right now. All right, we'll get to that later. All right, so Tanner Pearson, IR. The big one, William Karlsson, LTIR. Now, Karlsson has not played since January the 20th. LTIR rules are 24 days and 10 games, a combination thereof. The game against Boston will be game number 9. So William Karlsson is already getting close to the minimum number of games missed for the LTIR requirements. Lavoie was sent down. Akira Schmid was brought up. We're going to separate this into those two topics in a second here. Ron Bjerg was brought up, and Cole Schwint remains on IR. William Karlsson, let's talk about this for a second. Okay, William Karlsson, we know he got hurt sometime last season, presumably in the Dallas series. Golden Knights took a turn in that Dallas series when William Karlsson was injured. He wasn't himself. William Karlsson goes the whole summer trying to get his hamstring to start chilling again. His words, not mine. Tries to get his hamstring chilling again, and it ain't chilling. It ain't chilling. I think it's his hamstring. We don't 100% know, so we'll stick with lower body just for the spirit of the show, I guess. Karlsson misses a few games earlier in the season, and then now he has missed 9 straight games. Assumption, again, I don't have any knowledge, but assumption, surgery is going to be involved, and I would not be surprised if William Karlsson's regular season is over. Why else would the Golden Knights utilize LTIR right now? The Golden Knights don't have a whole lot to gain unless there's going to be an imminent move, a trade. Scouts have been in Vancouver, Buffalo, and many other venues. Vegas Golden Knights scouts, that is, have been in many different venues recently. And again, this could just be housekeeping, right? This is something that teams do every season. The Golden Knights scouted Ivan Barbashev, 40-something times. You can assume they had a lot of knowledge of Brandon Saad before that situation played out. So something is churning in Vegas, right? Something is churning. First things first, is it William Karlsson? How long is he going to be out? And then what is the subsequent move? You know there's going to be a move made. You know Kelly McCrimmon is not going to sit still, especially if William Karlsson is going to miss the rest of the regular season. So where does this leave the Golden Knights as far as salary cap space? As of today, right now, the Golden Knights could add a player worth up to $5.1 million without trading anybody, without sending anyone down. The Golden Knights have 5.13333333, however that works out, $5.13 million of salary cap space. But wait, Tanner Pearson is IR right now. That's $775,000. If Tanner Pearson were to go to LTIR, all of a sudden now we're at nearly $6 million. We're at 5.9. Akira Schmid is up with the Vegas Golden Knights. I don't think that's going to last. I'm going to talk about that in the next minute or so. That's another $875,000. So now we're at, call it $6.7 million. We'll round down a little bit. Cole Schwinn, he's on crutches. Last report I heard, Cole Schwinn's on crutches. Is this the type of crutches, where he's going to be gone for 8 weeks, the type of crutches situation that takes 8 to 10 weeks? Or is Cole Schwind's regular season come to an end? That would put the Golden Knights over $7 million coming up to the trade deadline. So if all this comes to fruition, even if it's just William Karlsson to LTIR for the rest of the regular season, here we go again, guys. That's going to be social media is going to be an absolute you-know-what storm as far as accusations towards the Golden Knights and their games with the LTIR. And who's to say William Karlsson even comes back in the playoffs too? I know everyone's going to assume the worst when it comes to this, and fine, Vegas is a lightning rod for that. So if William Karlsson if the announcement is William Karlsson had successful surgery, he remains out indefinitely, and then maybe a month later some type of timetable comes out that puts it plus or minus of the end of the regular season. Oh, lordy, that's not going to be fun. A little bit of a quieter move that a lot of people are trying to figure out. Akira Schmid was brought up to the main Vegas Golden Knights roster. Why? Adin Hill started last night's game against the Devils. Samsonov backed up Adin Hill in last night's game against the Devils. So now we can go through a couple of different hypotheses, I guess, as we figure out what's going on. Maybe, I doubt this highly, maybe Schmid's going to start the last game before the Four Nations. Maybe they want to showcase him. I don't think that's going to happen. I give that less than a 5% chance. Probably a 1% chance. The likely scenario, and credit Jesse Granger and The Athletic for putting this out there, I believe, first. Schmid is likely going to back up Samsonov Saturday against the Boston Bruins to give Adin Hill maybe an extra day of rest before the Four Nations starts. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. It's a hypothesis I do agree with. I think Jesse's on the ball right there. But I don't understand. Let's, again, doom and gloom, full Josh Fitz doom and gloom. Let's assume that something terrible happens. Let's say Samsonov in his first shot of the game comes up lame, leg, whatever, doesn't matter what it is, or takes a header, has to leave the game, whatever it is. Now we're sending Schmid out there. Golden Knights need these 2 points. They need to put their best foot forward. I understand. Dan, they want to give Aiden Hill a break. I don't like it. I've made my perspective on the Four Nations very, very clear. It's practice hockey. It's no one's playing for a gold medal. They're doing warm-up games for international competition. That's not even going to be until next year some point. So if the Golden Knights are resting their star goaltender, their starting goaltender, their $4.9 million goaltender, just simply so he can have that extra rest before these practice hockey games, I don't like anything about that. I don't. I hope that's not what the case is, but in the same breath, I kind of do hope that's the case because at least that means no one is injured right now. So just have to keep an eye on things on Saturday. I wonder if Cassidy will give us any nuggets leading up to the game in his press conference at the Golden Knights practice today, Friday, or if they do anything leading up to Saturday's game. So we'll see how that shakes out. All right, coming up next, it's the final game before the Four Nations face off against the Boston Bruins. Golden Knights need to find a way to come out of this game with the points, and we'll see if they can do that. More on that next. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Golick doing a solo run for Locked On VGK. Tony Cordasco's calling hoops out of the state. Chris Kondos is out of the country, so it's me and 36 of my closest friends. I don't know. Hopefully a lot of people watch today. We'll see how this goes. Normally Fridays are reserved for our feature, What the Friday, but I didn't want to do it by myself. I don't know. Without Tony, just What the Friday doesn't have the same vibe. So I'm just going to scrap that for today. It's my show. Tony can't tell me what to do. He's not here. If he was here, he could do What the Friday, but he's not here. So here I am, and I am scrapping What the Friday. The Cal Ripken Ironman weekly streak of What the Friday ends at 137 weeks. I got a tracker of this. I have no idea. All right, Boston Bruins. Let's take a look here at the Boston Bruins and let's see how things look for the Vegas Golden Knights heading into the final game before the Four Nations. All right, Boston comes in to this game sixth place in the Atlantic Division. Let me sort this the right way. There we go. Okay, sixth place in the Atlantic Division, 60 points, but that's only 9 points behind the Florida Panthers. So the Atlantic is really, besides Buffalo Sabres always in the cellar. And Montreal's at 55 points. They slowed down a little bit. But the Atlantic is really crowded right now as far as who's going to emerge. Any one of these 6 teams could certainly run away with the division at some point. Of course, the Florida Panthers and Toronto Maple Leafs are the chalk for that. Interesting about the Boston Bruins, they are a minus 24 goal differential, 5-4-1 in their last 10. At home, they're 18-8-3. On the road, they're 9-15-3. So the Golden Knights will have their hands full with a tough Boston Bruins team at home. Look at the game log here, just kind of see if anything stands out to us with the Boston Bruins' most recent games. 3-2 loss in New York against the Rangers. They shut out the Wild 3-0 at home. Beat the Rangers 6-3 at home. Then they lost to the Jets 2-6. A lot of high event hockey, it seems like, except the last couple of games. A 7-2 loss to the Sabres, but then a 6-2 victory against the Jets. So tough team to kind of get a pulse on. The Boston Bruins are kind of looking at their player stats here. Dave Pastrnak, wonderful season for Pasta. 28 goals, 39 assists, 67 points. Pasta is trying to will that team into playoff contention, but not a lot of help. Captain Brad Marchand, it doesn't roll off the tongue nicely. Captain Brad Marchand, 43 points, 19 goals, 24 assists, and probably a handful of stupid penalties. Morgan Geekie, the other part of that top line, only 28 points. 28 points. That's certainly not necessarily going to be good top line numbers, so to speak, although Keegan Coulter has been on the top line for the Golden Knights recently, so who knows exactly what that means. Let's look at the goaltending here. Jeremy Swayman had a real noteworthy offseason. Signs his 8-year, $66 million deal, $8.25 million AAV. Went down pretty famously. The last couple of weeks played out in the media, so you never like to see that happen. Jonathan March, so Logan Thompson. You never like to see all this stuff playing out through the media, but the Swayman situation did play out. Swayman came into the season with some heavy shoulders, right? Some heavy lifting to do. will it be Swayman, I guess, going? Swayman, I believe, is one of the goaltenders for the Four Nations for USA. Will it be Swayman, or is he going to get a break? I don't know. It's a good question. Assuming Swayman does make the start, 18-7-4, 295 goals against, 898 save percentage. So I think he's right at, give or take, the league average. Korpisalo, someone Vegas is familiar with back when he was with the Kings for a little while. Korpisalo, 9-6-2 on the year, a 286 and an 892 save percentage. Looking at some of the lines for the Boston Bruins here, look at the top line. You got Pastrnak, Zacha, Morgan Geekie. Second line, Elias Lindholm, Brad Marchand, Charlie Coyle. Third line, fourth line, a lot of youngsters in Cole Kopke, Mark Kastelik, Poitras, John Beecher, Justin Brazeau. Looking at the defensemen, this defensive core does not strike fear into anyone, I don't think. Mason Lohrei, Charlie McAvoy, Nikita Zadorov, Andrew Peeke, Mike Callahan, and then Brandon Carlo. That doesn't necessarily sound like the best defense in the Pacific Division. So the Golden Knights, if they get 1 point in this game, okay, fine. Glass is half full. 71 points is where the Golden Knights would be going into the Four Nations. If the Golden Knights can find a path to 2 points in this game, that would be remarkable, I think. Again, we've hit this probably twice already on today's show. Leading up to the All-Star break, and in this case, the Four Nations, it's not been good for the Golden Knights going back a long time. I mean, going back to Gerard Gallant's third season with the Vegas Golden Knights, that's when Gerard Gallant got the can, right? Or got kicked to the side, right? Hopefully they didn't leave him at the airport like the Florida Panthers did. God, that'd be terrible. But similar circumstances, just bad games leading up to the break. I don't know if it's just what happens when you have a veteran team. They just see time off. Or in the case of Mark Stone, Jack Eichel, Aiden Hill, Noah Hanifin, all the players that will be representing their countries in the Four Nations, maybe they're looking at this as okay, change of scenery. I get to represent my country. And maybe the focus isn't completely on the Golden Knights right now. And to be fair, this is not only a Golden Knights issue. I'm assuming this is happening league-wide right now. But that said, 2 points are on the line Saturday against the Boston Bruins before the shutdown. Would be remarkable if the Golden Knights can find a path to getting 2 more points. And then got something fun to talk about for the next couple weeks, I guess. All right, we made it. I'll give myself a hand. I made it. Solo run. Training wheels are off. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in today's edition of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. Please make sure to follow us on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Please make sure to download the audio anywhere you get your podcast from. Definitely want to send a thank you to all the everydayers. A special thank you to everyone who does take a second to comment, whether it's on my personal feed at TD Chris G or on the Locked On handle. Me and Tony put a lot of stuff out there. You're not going to agree, and that's okay. You don't have to agree. Tell us why you don't agree. Then we'll have a conversation about it. Might get a little chirpy at times. It might not, but ultimately where I'm going with this is whether the interaction is completely positive or maybe a little questionable. It's appreciated. You guys taking a moment out of your day to tell us you agree with something, you don't agree with something. That's what matters, and I hope you appreciate the time we put in the Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. All right, for Tony Cordasco, and we'll give Chris Condos some love. For Chris Condos, he couldn't make it, so he gets a shout-out today. And for myself, Chris Golick, thank you very much for checking out today's edition of Locked On Vegas Golden Knights. I almost flubbed the exit. And please, take care.